Most people see the years after 60 as a time of inevitable bone loss, a quiet fate that leaves them feeling fragile and breakable. But what if I told you that osteoporosis is not your destiny?
Her name is Barbara, and for 40 years, this garden wasn't just a patch of dirt, it was her sanctuary. It was where she celebrated the changing seasons, where she taught her children about life and patience, and where she felt most connected to the earth. The rich, dark soil held memories of laughter, of muddy hands, and of the quiet satisfaction of nurturing life from a tiny seed. But lately, the silence in the garden felt different. It felt heavy. The fear of a single misstep, a simple trip over a stray vine, had become a shadow that followed her everywhere. It was the silent, creeping fragility of osteoporosis, a thief that had begun to steal the things she loved most, not with a bang, but with a whisper of doubt. Barbara had always defined herself by her strength. She was the one who hoisted her grandchildren onto her hip, the one who carried in all the groceries in a single trip, the one who would spend an entire day on her feet, preparing a holiday feast for a house full of family. Her body was a reliable partner, a source of pride. But now, that partnership felt strained. The diagnosis of osteoporosis had landed like a quiet verdict, slowly dismantling the identity she had so carefully built. It wasn't just about the risk of a fracture. It was about the way she hesitated before stepping off a curb. It was the way she'd stopped planning trips to visit her daughter in another state. The thought of navigating an airport now seeming like an impossible obstacle course. The freedom of spontaneous movement was gone, replaced by a constant, draining mental calculation of risk. The daily erosion was the hardest part. It was a collection of 100 tiny defeats. It was the quiet closing of doors she never even realized were open. Her world, once expansive and full of possibility, was shrinking. The fear wasn't just of falling, it was the fear of becoming a burden, of losing her independence, of her life becoming a small, quiet room while the world continued on outside the window. The joy she once found in simple things was now laced with anxiety. One evening, sitting alone in the quiet of her living room, a single, devastating thought surfaced, clear and cold as ice. If I fall, who will I be when I get back up? The thought wasn't about the pain, it was about the aftermath, the loss of self, the dependence, the end of being Barbara. It was the deepest, most vulnerable point she had ever reached, a moment of profound, silent reckoning. Her eyes landed on the photograph. It was her 30 years ago, standing on a windy peak in the Appalachian Mountains. She remembered that day, the burn in her legs, the gasp for air, the sheer, stubborn will it took to reach the summit. She remembered the feeling of looking out over the world, feeling strong, capable, alive. A different thought began to form, not a shout, but a defiant whisper. That woman is still in here. It was a flicker of the old fire, a quiet refusal to let her story end in a silent room filled with shadows. It was the crossroads, the moment she decided that fear would no longer be her compass. The change wasn't overnight. It was a series of small, reclaimed moments. It started with simple exercises in her living room, her hand resting on the back of a chair for support. It was the conscious choice to add specific, bone-building foods to her plate, seeing her meals not just as sustenance, but as medicine. It was reclaiming the walk with her dog, even if it was just to the end of the block and back. Each small success, each moment she chose action over fear, began to rebuild not just the microscopic architecture of her bones, but the very foundation of her confidence. The joy started to seep back in, quiet and steady. She was no longer a fragile thing waiting to break. She was a woman in the process of rebuilding. Barbara's story is one that I know many of you watching today might recognize. It's the story of how a health challenge can quietly begin to dictate the terms of your life. You've probably been told to just drink more milk or be more careful. But that advice feels hollow when you're facing the very real fear of losing your independence. You might be feeling skeptical, wondering if it's truly possible to turn back the clock on bone loss. I understand, but Barbara's journey from fear to empowerment is not a fairy tale. It's a testament to the fact that your body is always listening, always ready to adapt. The knowledge she used to reclaim her life is what we are here to share with you today.
What if the most common advice you've heard about osteoporosis is missing the most critical pieces of the puzzle? We're told to focus on one or two things, but the truth is, our bones are part of a complex living system that requires a holistic approach. Today we're going to bypass the surface-level tips, We will uncover 6 life-changing secrets, exploring them in a very specific order, from a powerful foundation to the single most important revelation at the very end. We'll explore the hidden drain on your bone density that no one talks about, the surprising type of movement that signals your bones to rebuild, and the one vital truth you must understand to truly take control of your bone health. You absolutely need to stay with me until the end for our final secret. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate game changer. It's the step that transforms all your other efforts from guesswork into a precise, effective strategy. So, if you're ready to stop feeling like a spectator in your own health journey, hit that subscribe button and join our community. And just a quick important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or a trusted healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your routine. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge so you can have informed, confident conversations with them. All right, let's begin. Our journey starts with a topic that might feel familiar, but I promise you, we're going to look at it through a new lens. This is our foundational habit number 6, mastering nutrient teamwork. Now, the moment anyone mentions bone health, what are the first 2 things that pop into your head? Calcium and vitamin D, right? We've had it drilled into us for decades. Drink your milk, get some sun. And that advice isn't wrong, but it is dangerously incomplete. The conflict for so many seniors is that they are taking calcium, they are taking vitamin D, yet their bone density continues to decline. They feel frustrated, like they're doing everything right, but still losing the battle. This is where the tension lies. We've been led to believe in magic bullets, that 1 or 2 nutrients can solve the problem on their own, but this misconception is why so many people fail to see real results. To truly grasp how bone nutrition works, let's use an analogy. Imagine you're trying to build a strong brick wall. Calcium is the bricks. They are absolutely essential. Without them, you have no wall. But those bricks are useless if they're just sitting in a pile on the ground. You need mortar to bind them together and workers to place them correctly. In your body, protein acts as the mortar, creating the flexible collagen matrix that holds the calcium crystals. And vitamins like K2 and minerals like magnesium. They are the skilled workers, directing the calcium out of your arteries and into your bones where it belongs. Without the workers and the mortar, the bricks just crumble. Therefore, focusing only on calcium is like ordering a truckload of bricks for a construction site with no crew and no cement. It's a waste. Your body needs the entire team working in synergy. This is one of those crucial health secrets hiding in plain sight. Health experts now widely agree that protein intake is just as critical as calcium for seniors. Many older adults simply don't eat enough protein, and as a result, the very framework of their bones becomes weak, no matter how much calcium they consume. Now, when it comes to making these dietary shifts, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If this involves a major shift in your diet, please remember to start gently and listen to your body. And, as always, it's wise to discuss any significant changes with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations. Our goal here is empowerment through knowledge, so you can make the best choices for your unique situation. The solution, then, is to think about your plate as a construction site. Are you supplying the full team? Look for protein from sources like lean meats, fish, beans, and Greek yogurt. Find magnesium in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. And vitamin K2, the master nutrient director, is found in foods like natto, a traditional Japanese food, as well as certain cheeses and egg yolks. A balanced plate, rich in a variety of whole foods, does more for your bones than a shelf full of isolated supplements. That's our foundation. Now that we've supplied our body with the right building materials, we need to address the silent forces that can tear down our hard work. This brings us to the hidden drain, number 5, your lifestyle levers. So many of us think of our bones as inert, like the frame of a house. We build it and then it just exists. The problem with this view is that it's completely wrong. Your bones are alive. They are dynamic, living tissue, constantly being broken down and rebuilt in a process called remodeling. And this process is profoundly influenced by the subtle daily choices you make, choices that often have no obvious connection to your skeleton. The tension here is that we often chase the obvious villains, a bad diet or lack of exercise, while completely ignoring the hidden drains that are quietly sabotaging our bone density day after day and night after night. Think of your bone remodeling process like a bank account. You have cells called osteoblasts that make deposits, building new bone, and you have cells called osteoclasts that make withdrawals, breaking down old bone. For most of your life, the deposits and withdrawals are in balance, but certain lifestyle factors can give the withdrawal cells a huge advantage. Chronic stress, for example, floods your body with the hormone cortisol. To make an analogy, cortisol is like a bank robber that sneaks in every night and empties your bone density account. You could be making all the right deposits through diet, but if that robber keeps showing up, your balance will inevitably drop. Similarly, poor sleep disrupts the very hormones that regulate this delicate balance. Smoking and heavy alcohol consumption are like pouring acid on the bone's framework, directly accelerating bone loss. Therefore, ignoring these lifestyle levers is like trying to fill a bucket with water while it's riddled with holes. You can pour and pour, but you'll never make progress. The empowering solution is to recognize that you have control over these levers. It's a widely accepted understanding in geriatric care that managing stress through mindfulness, meditation, or even a simple walk in nature can lower cortisol and protect your bones. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's a non-negotiable part of your bone-building regimen. Maintaining a healthy weight is also critical. Being underweight removes the beneficial stress of load from your bones, while being significantly overweight can increase inflammation and strain on your joints, leading to inactivity. These are the silent, life-changing habits that create an environment where your bones can truly thrive. So okay, we've got the right nutrients, and we've plugged the lifestyle drains. Now it's time to give our bones a powerful reason to grow stronger. This is the strength signal number 4, weight-bearing movement. Here's the core conflict. Many people, especially after 60, begin to slow down. Movement can become more challenging, and the fear of falling can lead to a more sedentary life. We think that by resting our bodies, we are preserving them. But when it comes to our skeleton, the exact opposite is true. Without a specific kind of stress, our bones begin to fade away. The science is fascinating. Your bones have an incredible ability to respond to their environment. This is why astronauts in space lose bone density so rapidly. Without the constant force of gravity, their bones receive a message. You are not needed. You can weaken. The tension is that on Earth, a sedentary lifestyle sends the very same message. Let's use a simple analogy. Imagine your bones are like employees in a company. If the company is busy and there's a lot of work to do, the owner hires more employees and strengthens the business. But if there are no projects, no demands, and no challenges, the owner starts laying people off to save resources. Your body is the owner. Weight-bearing exercise, actions like walking, climbing stairs, or dancing, is the work order. It places a controlled, healthy stress on your skeleton, and that stress is a signal. It tells the owner, hey, we need more strength over here. Hire more bone-building cells and reinforce this structure. Therefore, avoiding this kind of movement is like telling your best employees to go home. Your body, ever efficient, will begin to dismantle a structure it believes is no longer required. Walking is a fantastic start, but for true gains, your body benefits from even clearer signals. This is where lifting weights comes in. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Lifting heavy weights? At my age? That sounds dangerous. And that's a very important concern. When it comes to starting a new exercise routine, it's crucial to approach it with awareness and care. The key is to start light, focus on proper form, and build slowly, ideally with guidance. Please remember, it's wise to discuss any significant changes like this with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations. But the science is incredibly encouraging. A landmark study from the University of Sydney called the Liftmore trial showed that even postmenopausal women in their 70s with low bone mass could safely improve bone density in their hip and spine with supervised high-intensity resistance training. This means age itself is not the barrier. The method is what matters. If weights aren't for you, Resistance bands, bodyweight squats, or even the simple act of standing up from a chair 10 times in a row can provide that essential load. The message is clear. Without a load, bones weaken. With a consistent, safe load, they adapt and grow stronger, no matter your age. This next secret might sound a bit counterintuitive, especially if you've been told to avoid jarring movements. But it's a vital piece of the puzzle. Welcome to the Resilience Builder number 3, Safe Impact. The problem for many seniors is that after a fracture, or even just the fear of one, the natural instinct is to protect the body at all costs. This often means eliminating anything that feels like impact. We choose the elevator over the stairs, we stop dancing, we walk as if on eggshells. We believe that complete rest and avoidance is the safest choice. Yet, the tension here is that by completely avoiding impact, we might actually be accelerating the very weakness we're trying to prevent. Our bones need more than just steady pressure. They thrive on small dynamic shocks. To understand why, let's go back to our construction site analogy. Weight-bearing exercise is like having the workers steadily carry bricks and mortar all day. It's essential work. But impact is like the site foreman coming by with a mallet and giving the new wall a series of firm taps. These taps test the wall's integrity and signal to the workers, reinforce this spot, make it thicker and more resilient right here. Gentle impacts like a heel drop, a small hop, or even light jogging send a vibrational signal through your skeleton that tells the bone-building cells to get to work, specifically at crucial sites like your hip and spine. A fascinating body of research published in journals like the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research has shown that short bouts of this kind of impact exercise can significantly increase bone mineral density. In Japan, simple daily hops are often prescribed as part of rehabilitation for seniors. Therefore, the goal is not to eliminate impact, but to scale it to your current ability. Of course, safety is paramount here. This is not about pushing your body into painful or risky situations. For someone with severe osteoporosis, this journey might begin with nothing more than standing at a kitchen counter, holding on for balance, and simply dropping your heels to the floor with a little bit of force. As your strength and confidence grow, that might progress to stepping down off a single stair or joining a low-impact dance class. Always listen to your body and discuss new types of exercise with your doctor. The takeaway is this: safe stress is medicine. A complete absence of stress leads to decline. This secret empowers you to stop fearing movement and instead choose the right kind of movement for you. We've now built a strong foundation for rebuilding our bones, but all that hard work is vulnerable if we don't protect it. That brings us to the crucial link in the chain, the safety secret number 2, mastering your balance. Here's the heartbreaking truth. Strong bones mean very little if a simple fall takes them down. In the United States, falls are a leading cause of fractures among seniors. The real conflict here is that many of these falls don't happen because of weak bones, but because of lost coordination and slowing reflexes. I've seen patients with decent bone density who still suffer a devastating fracture after a sudden trip. Their skeleton wasn't the primary problem, their stability was. This creates a vicious cycle of fear. You feel a small wobble when stepping off a curb. You hesitate on the stairs, and that fear makes you move less. But the less you move, the more your balance systems weaken, which ironically makes a fall even more likely. To break this cycle, let's use an analogy. Think of your body's balance system as a highly advanced pilot. This pilot is constantly taking in information from your eyes, your inner ears, and the nerves in your feet. It then makes thousands of instantaneous adjustments in your muscles to keep you upright and stable. When you're younger, this pilot is sharp, fast, and automatic. But as we age, if we don't actively keep the pilot in training, its skills get rusty. Its reaction time slows down. A simple trip, which the pilot once would have handled instantly, now becomes a catastrophic collapse. Therefore, balance training is pilot school for your nervous system. By practicing, even in simple ways, you are actively rewiring your brain and sharpening your pilot's reflexes. The beauty of this is that it doesn't require a fancy gym. You can practice standing on one leg while you brush your teeth. You can walk heel to toe down a hallway. Evidence-based practices like Tai Chi are fantastic, with studies showing they can reduce fall risk by up to 50%. When your balance improves, Every single step you take becomes safer. A wobble doesn't become a fracture. A trip doesn't become a collapse. This is the bridge between strength and safety. It's what makes all your other efforts sustainable. Because strong bones matter only if they are protected by stability. Together, they create true freedom and independence. And now we have arrived at our final and most critical secret. We've covered diet, lifestyle, and 3 different kinds of essential movement. You can do all of those things perfectly, but if you ignore this one last step, you are still flying blind. This is why we saved it for last. The ultimate game changer number 1 is medical measurement. The single biggest problem in the fight against osteoporosis is that it's a silent disease. You cannot feel your bones getting weaker. There are often no symptoms at all until the moment you fracture. Many people assume a little bit of shrinking height or a few new aches and pains are just a normal part of getting older. But this assumption is the most dangerous one of all. The tension is immense. People either live in fear, guessing about their bone health, or they live in blissful ignorance, assuming everything is fine. Both approaches are incredibly risky. Without objective measurement, all our efforts are just guesswork. We have no idea if what we're doing is working, if we need to do more, or if we need medical support. Here is the final, most important analogy of our journey. Trying to improve your bone density without measuring it is like trying to save for retirement without ever looking at your bank statements. You can diligently put money away every month, that's your exercise and good diet, but you have no idea what your starting balance was, whether your investments are growing, or if there's a secret withdrawal happening that's draining your account. It would be an absurd way to manage your finances, right? Yet, this is exactly how most people manage their bone health. Therefore, the solution is the DEXA scan. A bone density scan is the gold standard, the undeniable bank statement for your skeleton. This simple, painless scan tells you your exact bone density score. It can reveal osteopenia, the precursor to osteoporosis, long before it becomes a crisis, giving you precious time to act. This is the ultimate secret because numbers change the story. When you see your score, the problem becomes real and tangible, not abstract. And this is where it becomes truly empowering. With repeat scans over time, you can see the direct impact of your choices. You can see if your hard work in nutrition and exercise is paying off. It transforms the journey from one of hope to one of evidence. It's the ultimate motivation. When medication is necessary, this knowledge allows it to be used effectively. Medications like bisphosphonates can dramatically slow bone loss, but they work best when the foundation of diet and exercise is already in place. The DEXA scan shows you and your doctor exactly what's needed. It turns a vague wellness plan into a precise medical strategy. Seeing that number stabilize or even improve is the ultimate proof that change is still possible. It shows you that you are in control. And there you have it. The awareness that comes from measurement is both your treatment and your encouragement. It's what keeps your bones alive. Bone density isn't set in stone. It is living, it is changing, and it is waiting for you to give it a reason to strengthen. We've covered so much today, from our foundational habit number 6 of nutrient teamwork to plugging the hidden drain number 5 of lifestyle choices. We learned how to send the strength signal number 4 with weight-bearing movement, how to become the resilience builder number 3 with safe impact, and how to protect it all with the safety secret number 2 of mastering balance. And finally, we uncovered the ultimate game changer number 1, the power of knowing your numbers through medical measurement. Each one of these secrets is a powerful tool for reclaiming your strength and your confidence. So my question for you is this: which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it the idea of nutrient teamwork, or perhaps the empowering truth about safe impact? I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Sharing our experiences is how we all learn and grow stronger together. If you found this journey valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps our community reach others who need to hear this message. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more health strategies designed to help you thrive after 60. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and never forget that it is never too late for your body to listen, and it is never too late for you to grow stronger.